What's up, guys? Welcome to the show. Thank you for being here.
Hello, everybody. Wait a minute. Round of applause for all the people tuning in. Yes. There it is, right there, everybody. That's for you guys out there.
Yeah, especially since it's a newer channel we're streaming on. Appreciate you.
Nancy Dogs 909, my beautiful wife. Yes. Yes, there are things happening. There are things happening.
Well, I guess first thing we're going to talk about is the Seditious Six. Well, they're Sidious too, but anyways, the Seditious Six and CIA exposed. Flynn breaks it down. America is in danger. What's new? Nothing.
Now, let me ask you something. If the CIA happens to expose itself, is it girthy or is it just average?
That's a whole lot of weird stuff to talk about here. I'm not going to talk about it. All right. We got a video here. We're going to go ahead and show you guys. And this is Alex Jones talking to General Flynn and getting a breakdown of what exactly is going on here when it comes to why the Seditious Six did what they did. Also, what's going on with around the nation. Because, you know, what we saw this week when it comes to the National Guardsmen that was shot, I think that's related because that had the guy that did it, you know, he worked for the CIA when he was in Afghanistan. His brother worked for the CIA when he was in Afghanistan. So, you know, I think the CIA has a big part to do with this. But let's go ahead and check it out.
Understand that we are in the middle of what is called unrestricted warfare. Unrestricted warfare is where it is boundless what you can do. And it comes out of, you've talked a lot about this, Alex, it comes out of the Chinese manual back in the late 90s, you know, which I've read that a bunch of times. I've written a manual myself on 5th generation warfare. Unrestricted warfare is without bounds. That is what we are in the midst of right now, and everybody needs to understand that. So
you're talking full spectrum war.
I mean everything. You're talking about the idea of illegal exploitation of different commodities, human beings, drugs. We're talking about false action and false flags when it comes to economic warfare. Right? You say you're going to do something, and you do just the opposite.
The same globalist BlackRock, Obama, John Brennan coup that's been absolutely exposed, trying to overthrow our been warning of this. And there's really few others that have studied it or understood it for whatever reason, and who go read the Podesta plan and seeing them execute every piece of it. So the focus is on this statement telling the military, you know, don't follow orders, basically. You could argue that's free speech, but not who produced it, not who gave them the script, and it's Brennan, we know. And then they now admit they were given a script. And it's this continuum of Crossfire Hurricane and Arctic Frost and all the fake impeachments meant to undermine a duly elected government. That is treason. That is seditious conspiracy. That is illegal. And Trump, as General Flynn has said many times, has a special oath that no one else gets. He's the only person elected by everybody. The whole nation votes on him. Protect, preserve, and defend. Preserve. He doesn't have a right. He has a duty to execute. So, General Flynn, you've got the floor for the next 20 minutes. I know you got to go after that. Thank you so much. And again, you finished my sentence. Okay, it's cutesy. Do the turkey pardoning. We need a national address, General Flynn.
Before we get into this, if y'all could, please hit that like button and share this out. Really helps us out so everybody could see us and everything. Appreciate it.
See us and everything. Yeah, we're going to see us and everything.
Yeah, they want to see us. Yeah,
and
we
everything.
need to see that.
Yes. Yeah. Need to see. Yes.
We need to remind ourselves of the things that have already taken place that are part of this color revolution that we are in the middle of. And, you know, you mentioned Crossfire Hurricane and Arctic Frost, but it's Russiagate, it's Spygate, it's Impeachment Gate. It's all the indictments between when Trump was 45 and now that he's 47. It's all of the attacks against all the lawfare that was going on after the stolen elections of 2020. And I'm telling you, Alec, just on a sidebar note on the stolen elections of 2020, there is so much damning evidence that we now have because people like Tulsi Gabbard has stepped in and weighed in, and there are some other people that have now come forward. It's going to be very ugly very soon. And I know that the president of the United States is aware of a lot of what I'm talking about right now. We've had leaks, just these incredible leaks. Never mind this latest leaks from about the Witkoff and the peace plan between Russia and Ukraine. We've had all these wars, right? These loser wars, Ukraine and Russia, the one I just mentioned, the Middle East. I mean, the money laundering that has occurred from the Afghanistan war, what we are learning from Congress, members of Congress, about NGOs stealing millions, probably billions of dollars, and they're still getting paid for things coming out of Afghanistan. I mean, this is insane. The drugs, right? The fentanyl coming out of China, the illegal immigration to the tune of 20 million under the Biden administration, the human trafficking and the skyrocketing trafficking of children, the Epstein files, the Epstein affair. I keep saying the Epstein affair is not going to go away. And Donald Trump knows this now. This is something that is an elite class of people that have done such damage to children, never mind what they have done to the moral fabric of not only our country, but the rest of the world. The latest is the Seditious Six. They call it the Seditious Six. That's what you showed earlier when you had Stephen Miller talking to Jesse Walters there. So what do we need? We need a couple of things. Number one, we need the Oval Office to throttle, and I mean throttle down on this idea of information operations and understand that we are in the middle of what is called unrestricted warfare. Unrestricted warfare is where it is boundless what you can do. And it comes out of, you've talked a lot about this, Alex, it comes out of the Chinese manual back in the late 90s, you know, which I've read that a bunch of times. I've written a manual myself on 5th generation warfare. Unrestricted warfare is without bounds. That is what we are in the midst of right now. And everybody needs to understand that. So
you're talking full spectrum war.
I mean, everything. You're talking about the idea of illegal exploitation of different commodities, human beings, drugs. We're talking about false, action and false flags when it comes to economic warfare, right? You say you're going to do something and you do just the opposite. It's the whole idea about using the information like TikTok. Trump will sit there, and I hope he's listening to this. Trump will sit there and go, G and I just had a great call, and we're going to do the following things. Well, when Trump hung up, he has a duty, which he does. He tells the American people, G and I just had a great call, and we're going to do all these great things, and we're going to have trade deals, and we're going to do TikTok and blah, blah, blah. And we're going to 600,000 students for the next couple of years from China. Xi hangs up and tells his team, great, we got exactly what we want out of them. We're going to triple down. We're going to quadruple down. And we're going to continue to screw the United States of America. That's how they.
Yep, that's true.
Yep.
Especially with 600,000 people with visas coming in to go to school.
They call them people. It sounds to me like they're more like
immigrants. Yeah.
Spies.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll call them that because if I'm not mistaken, please correct me. But I hear tell that most, if not all, Chinese students that come over here have to report daily to the Chinese Communist Party at some point. Do you know anything about that?
I don't know about that, but I know majority of people that come through the visa program are part of the CCP. Not only that, most of the companies that come to the United States that are founded in China are part of the CCP as well.
I don't even think you're allowed to run a business. It's hard to leave China as a resident.
Well, no, you can. The thing is, you can bring a business to another country. You can do that. The thing is, if you do, is still part of the CCP. But like TikTok's a perfect example. You know, TikTok was the owner of it was part of the CCP, and he had that thing all over the place. You know, he also had people working for him from all sorts of countries as well. Like if you look at TikTok, you know, TikTok in the United States it's called TikTok, but in China it's called something else.
Weibo.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and it's a whole different experience. Here it promotes negative degenerative behavior. Over there it promotes, you get likes, updos, followings, and big boosted accounts by doing like positive things. You know, if you solder a circuit board together, you get gazillions of views. If you help an old lady, or if you do some kind of something in the community that's good, it like
So
boosts you.
if it's beneficial to society, you get a lot of likes and they share it out. Yeah.
Yeah. In other words, they'll use it to uplift the society instead of destroy it.
Yeah. And those TikTok is actually something that they were using to destroy the society in the United States.
Yeah, over here, yeah.
They operate, Alex. They don't operate like Donald J. Trump operates, because he, as you said, he does have a duty to preserve the Constitution of the United States. He has the duty to inform, our country and the people of our country, because we're a democracy, we're a republic, and so he's trying to be as transparent as he can be. But trust me, we are not dealing with an even hand here.
People are saying, "Oh, well, the Democrats might win the midterms. They're not going to launch their full Podesta plan, uprising, riots, collapse because of that." No, their money has been massively cut off. All these new scandals are coming out. Trump has actually gotten some good people in there. All these whistleblowers are coming in. So they're cornered. They have to make this move. And don't follow the orders of the commander-in-chief ahead of this big event they're going to stage that the CIA elements that are good have now warned Trump. That
Unmute that mic.
That's something I want to go over with William when it comes to the Seditious Six. And that is, if you look at the people that are involved in that, there's two of them I'm really interested in. And that's the senator from Michigan, Slotkin, and the congresswoman.
Well, Kelly too, by the way. I'm really interested in Kelly.
No, I'm not interested in Kelly at all, because Kelly is a moron. The reason I'm interested in Slotkin and the other woman is because they're both one was military intelligence, the other one is CIA.
Right.
And it was them, I think, that orchestrated this, that got this ready to come out, and fits with this narrative that General Flynn's talking about here. With trying to start pretty much a civil war in the United States and have dissent against Trump in the military. That's really what that thing was meant to do. And it was written, directed by the CIA. They think it's Brennan, which I tend to agree. And guess who worked for Brennan back in the day?
That lady did.
Slotkin did. Yep.
Slotkin, yeah. Now, real quickly, correct me if I'm wrong too. It's like the CIA is almost like a street gang. Once you're in, you're always in. Even if you retire, you're kind of still affiliated. You're never out of the CIA technically.
The only time you get out is when you're pretty much thrown out, or they feel like you have abandoned them. Perfect example is that CIA agent that got charged by the United States government for espionage because he went out there and told everybody about what was going on with military using enhanced interrogation techniques during a Bush administration. He is persona non grata in the CIA, and he is someone I trust when I hear him speak about the CIA. The rest of them, they're former CIA. So you got to ask questions. What's their motive to doing what they're doing?
Right. Yeah. You somebody say this is a former CIA officer or CIA person. They're going to explain to you such and such. Well, let me explain. Well, first of all, right there, never former unless there's a real big reason. And that means that either if they're going to start talking, there's typically some sort of information that they're going to skew. They're going to lead you to do something. I have an article later on when we get done with this I want you to put up, And did you hear about? See, did you know that in Fayetteville, North Carolina, there's a military base there, Fort Bragg.
Yeah, it's Fort Bragg. Yeah.
Do you know what they're really well known for? What their alma mater is?
What?
Psychological warfare.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised by that.
Okay, well, the News Observer put out an article with a video, and it talks about, and the video is actually what they put out on social media to kind of like advertise and recruit, but it's a very strange and morbid video, and it talks about their job is the war front they fight is using words and media. Okay, and we'll get to that later, but I want you to see this. This is wild. I found this earlier today. And then on top of that, we've got to look back. I say this a lot, but now that this is becoming a thing, it's more normalized. I've even heard some mainstream media people talking about the Smith-Mundt Modernization Act that Obama kind of signed into law to help, make this kind of become more of a thing. That's really significant. But anyways, I don't want to keep that. So go ahead.
What you're saying is their backs against the wall. This is coming to a head. Am I correct?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, their backs are against the wall. They are not about to like roll over. Okay, folks. Okay, everybody out there in that's listening to InfoWars or anywhere else that gets this. These people will not roll over. They will come up with the next plan and the next plan. They are following their plan to the letter. And what we need to do is we need to recognize, number one, they have a plan, and it's being put into place. This Seditious Six, these people, what caught my eye was not that there was military people. It was this former CIA officer that's now a member of
a protege of Brennan.
Yeah, and so I'm going to talk about John Brennan here in a second. But that caught my attention because I was like, wait a second, this is different. It's not because they were telling military people you can't do the following things, you should disobey orders. I mean, the people in the military know this. They know this. What caught my eye and caught my attention was that there was somebody from the intelligence community, and I think Stephen Miller rightly picked up on that as well, because this is a seditious conspiracy. They had to have gotten together in order to create this message and then to put it out the way that they put it out. So I don't want to just focus on that, okay? Because I think that is one tactic, one element in a wider color revolution.
And that's how the controlled DOJ is going to sabotage, is only focusing on that statement. Instead, we now have another congressman who didn't end up being part of it. He admits, we were given a script. By who?
Yeah, by who?
Did you consider, why were you not part of this video?
Yeah, actually, so I was part of the first video. The second video is by the time the script got to me and it was in the middle of a lot was going on, I just didn't have time to actually record it, but I'm 100% in alignment with them.
By the time the script got to me,
and it was in the middle of a lot was going on, I just didn't have time to actually record it, but I'm 100% in alignment with them altogether. This stuff happened, it just happened not to end up being a recording. There's really no other 3D chess to this.
All right, Mr. Miller, what should happen?
Well, it's not only that about Gallego. He is a former Marine, so he was in the military, and he went on the same interview that you just saw there. He threatened the military that was well, not the military itself, I guess the Pentagon. If you keep looking into Kelly, Trump's not going to be in power forever, and he's not going to be there to protect you if we get into power. That's pretty much what he said to the Pentagon itself. So I tend to think that's a threat to me. When I hear that, he's threatening them. He's saying, look, do as Democrats want you to do, or we're going to go ahead, and when we get into power, we're going to come after you.
That's a big difference between Republicans and Democrats. They will. And they will do it shamelessly, and they will do it full force and hard.
Well, here's also a big difference. I saw someone try to compare this to what happened when Biden was in office and Arctic frost was happening, and they went after Republican congressmen and senators. And I was like, there's a big difference. Those Republican congressmen and senators had no idea that the FBI was looking into them. Everybody that's involved in this knows the FBI is looking into them. So, there's no hiding it. So it's way different.
Yeah. It's, it's really disheartening because the Democrats have that side, even and some Republicans involved in this as well, have committed very easily prosecutable crimes. I understand there's activist judges. There's problems that makes it a lot harder. We have a lot higher bar that we have to jump to get over. But the fact that there have been no arrests and seems like there is some form of cover-ups.
Well, we'll get into that part. We'll get into that part as we go on, because I think there's a lot more to that than just than what you're talking about there. There's a lot more to flush out.
Right. Well, real quickly, and I'll make this fast. The Boseberg is reviving the corruption case, or the not corruption, but the contempt case, because they didn't turn around with Albrego Garcia, and he says that he's trying to force the Trump's DOJ to prosecute Kristi Noem if they don't, then he will, or something like that. And I'm like, watch Pam Bondi. Actually, the only people she's arresting is going to be her own people. I had this strange feeling. I mean, I might be reading into that too much.
First thing, he's got his own thing to worry about. We'll get into that after we finish watching this.
Happened to the Seditious Six? Well, they should be held accountable under the law and under the Uniform Code of Military Justice for a seditious conspiracy against the United States of America. This is completely open and shut, straightforward. What is the motivation? Why would 6 members of Congress, selecting specifically for individuals with a CIA or military background, record a carefully written, carefully produced, slickly edited video messaging directly to members of our clandestine services and our armed forces, telling them to disobey orders from their superiors, telling them that they should individually determine whether an order is legal or illegal and defy it. Individuals who are exercising life and death power. The CIA engages in covert missions all over the world involving life and death decisions. The armed forces launches life-taking missions time and time again. They carry weapons. They control drones. They control missiles. They work on nuclear submarines. For what purpose would you ever deliver this message? As you said, it's to create a color revolution. It is the CIA playbook for trying to foment insurrection from within the military and within the CIA. Look, we saw after Charlie Kirk was assassinated, Jesse, members of the armed forces openly celebrating his murder. So think about that for a second. You have people in the armed forces, and it can be a tiny, tiny percentage, but who celebrated the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and then now they're getting a message from Kelly and from other members of Congress saying, defy your commanders. Rise up and defy your superiors. That kind of language will get people killed. It endangers our national security. It is dangerously radicalizing, and it has all of the evidence of willfulness and intent. And when they go on TV and they say, well, we can't name what order is illegal, that proves the point. It was never about the law. It was breaking down the chain of command. The Democrat Party is openly engaged every day in trying to tear down democracy, whether it be judges who are binding the president with unlawful orders, releasing violent criminals back onto the street, trying to cement and protect the illegal alien invasion of America, and now fomenting rebellion inside of the ranks of our armed forces and CIA.
You are beyond insane.
All right. We're going to have it ended there. But anyway.
Very alarming. Very alarming. Yeah. You know, we have been dabbling with what CIA's been up to. We talked about this on the phone a little bit. You know, the Peter Strozak. Remember that guy, right?
He's FBI, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, he was former CIA that went to FBI.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm getting at is there's CIA and FBI offices that are like, you know, they go knock on the wall and they're like right beside each other. You know, there's like, so we have this shooter that worked for the CIA, and so did his brother, and we have the FBI investigating it. There could be some issues with that.
I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. But let's go ahead and get on to that conversation about you brought up during while we're watching that video when it comes to I can't remember the conversation about that part anymore. But
You're talking about where the Fort Bragg?
no.
Oh,
no. This is a different one, a different part of the conversation. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But dude, you gotta help me out here. I don't remember.
Oh yeah. The FBI.
No.
We were talking about something.
All right. Anyway, guys, sorry about that. But I guess when it comes to the Seditious Six, look, this was obviously orchestrated to actually undermine Trump and the military, make sure that they could actually foment, like they said, a color revolution inside the military. And not only that, any group that actually has that doesn't want to do that won't have the, I guess, confidence in its leadership as well. It's lack of confidence that they want to put in there as well against Trump, and also against the leadership that Trump has in place at the Pentagon. And so that's the reason they're doing it. It's because they want to. They want to overthrow the person who's in office right now. It's no different than what happened in 2016 with the whole thing with Russiagate.
Russiagate, yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing. The only difference is they try to use pretty much the 25th Amendment at first, and then they went to impeachment next. Then they tried the 25th Amendment again. And there was Republicans in on the 25th Amendment both times. One was Reince Priebus. He got fired for being involved in that. And then the second time was Mike Pence, but they didn't get rid of him because he is the vice president.
Yeah.
And there's a few others. Paul Ryan was involved in that, and so on and so forth.
Paul Ryan. He's not the same guy who owned the Fox News.
No, Paul Ryan was the leader of the House at the time. He's from Wisconsin.
Yeah. That's where the capital of cheese is, by the way.
Yeah, he took over the House after, I guess, the guy from Ohio, Mr. Crying Pants. I starts with a B. I can't remember his name. But anyway.
He would always cry all the time. The one that did the crime. And did he actually shoot himself or something?
No.
Catch shrapnel. It was like he was shooting at a target or something. That the shrapnel came back and got in his arm. What was that guy's name?
No, that wasn't him.
Who is that? Who was that guy? Boehner. Yeah. Thank you, Eric. Thank you. Yeah.
Appreciate you.
The dangerous thing is that we have a weaponized media. That is the dangerous thing, and that means that at any given moment, everything that you're seeing right now is all geared towards some form of steering society. It's right off a cliff for the most part. That's what's really alarming about what we're facing right now, and that's part of any color revolution. By the way, you want to really understand that. We've got to go back to circa 2014 in a place called Ukraine, because a couple of color revolution what happened over there. They have been all over the internet on Zoom calls saying it out loud. But now all the secret U.S. aid workers have gone underground and said, "Yes, they have. Exactly. Yes. Great observation."
They're the ones that made sure that election in Virginia went the way it went.
Mm-hmm. And I wonder who's helping out the one in Tennessee right now. Tennessee's not going. Woo boy. But there's a lady I saw on InfoWars who was being interviewed, and part of her thing that she was really into was infiltrating these Zoom meetings. Like, get on Blue Sky and start friending up some of these people and pretending like you're a lefty. That way, you can get in some of these Zoom calls that are involved with these grassroots organizations that that do the ICE, agitating ICE agents and different things, and it gets a little deeper the more you get involved. But the basic idea is to understand what they're talking about, because they'll actually speak in public and say things that might sound like what they are when you're listening to, but they're actually speaking in a whole different language. And of course, we know that as double speak. But I made a funny the other day talking about Nancy Pelosi one day. Remember, I don't know if you recall this, Matt, but Nancy Pelosi was like babbling about bird baths and waterfalls and stuff in one of her conference, like press conferences, and everybody said, "Oh, look how drunk she is. She's just babbling words." I'm like, no, she is communicating to her people. She is telling them things, and this is very alarming. Media is not weaponized; it's propagandized, and that is 1,000% more dangerous than what. Well, okay, hey, great comment, thank you very much, but let me disagree with you slightly, because propaganda doesn't always mean bad. You can use propaganda and do good. Propaganda is just it's information, it's media, it's out there. When you weaponize it and use it for bad, that's when it becomes that. And propaganda is just everything. Like if you're watching commercials on TV and it's trying to drive
Well,
an
there's a difference between propaganda and propagandize. That's the difference. And propagandize means it's actually politicized. And it's telling truth depending on what your political agenda is. And I think that's exactly what he's talking about.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. Yeah, thank you there, 0% for the big guy. Thank you. Yeah. And you gotta really start to question who's in on it. Who's in on all this? Is Trump this bad? He's not this uninformed. He knows. He knows a lot. I support the guy, but I'm saying, like, who's all in on this?
Well, I support Trump too, but I got questions about some of the stuff that's going on since Charlie Kirk died, because it seems like we have reverted back to the old Republican Party with some of the stuff that's going on, especially when it comes to, like we were talking about Judge Bozeman. That's who it was.
Oh yeah,
Boasberg.
yeah.
And here's the thing, Boasberg. Here's the thing, why Judge Boasberg has more on his plate than he realizes. Once the Congress is back in place, they're gonna probably impeach him because of what he did with Arctic Frost. And I think they should impeach him anyway, because he's actually trying to stop Trump's agenda unlawfully. He's trying to use his power on the bench the way it's not supposed to be used. He's abusing his power, and I think he should be impeached anyway. But he's going to get impeached for what he did there, no doubt in my mind.
Yeah,
and go ahead.
You know about the conflict of interest between him and USAID with his daughter running this NGO program.
Yes, yeah, I know about that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Well, he should never have been put into that position.
No, dude, he was randomly selected.
Bullshit. We know that ain't true.
Yeah, just randomly selected all the time too. By the way, Susie Wiles is blocking anyone getting close to him, and she, yeah, Big Pharma in China. So is, Bondi was sort of not a lobbyist, but she worked for Big Pharma representing them legally and stuff.
Yeah, well, she also is a lobbyist for her religion too.
Yeah, Wild. Yeah, if you look into what she's in, what her faith is, you'll be like, oh,
yeah, Scientology. Yeah,
yeah. Which is
I'm going to say it. I don't care. It's Scientology.
Yeah.
And there's it's not surprising that she would be in league with Big Pharma in that case, because
it's science. In science never changes. Whenever the science is settled, that's the science. And if anybody knows the definition, if you know what the definition of science is, that's totally
how's America lunatic freedom? How is America in danger? Well, by not catching the signs of what's going on.
People like you who don't know it's in danger and can't see it, that's put us in a dangerous position.
Well, maybe he knows it's in danger and he's just asking us what our opinion is. Maybe that is.
Well, okay. Yeah, I shouldn't be so Ooh,
Yeah.
rare. Sorry.
Yeah.
Rare.
Yeah. What's your opinion? Why is America in danger, William?
Why is my opinion of why America's in danger?
Yeah.
I'll try to sum it up real quickly. It's why
Oh,
I
I
mean I
missed
can
your
say
live.
well how about you go and say
He-
how,
yeah.
but why?
He said, "I missed your live at the beginning." There you go.
Oh,
Okay.
I got you. I
Go
got
ahead.
you. Oh. So so I'll try to do more why than I am gonna say how. Why is America in danger? America's in why it's in danger is because of criminality. That's why it's in danger. Criminality and very, very dark people that have ill intentions. And it
Well,
and how it's in danger, that's a lot of layers to that, but that's why.
the video we played at the beginning was Alex Jones talking to General Flynn, and they're talking about the Seditious Six, and also about how CIA was actually involved in making those videos for them, making that video for them, in order to tell the military to not follow, just not to follow unlawful orders. Which really, what that was meant to do is tell them not to follow orders, you know,
Mhm.
by the president of the United States, and putting pretty much the nation in danger because they might not have confidence in Trump. They actually might foment a resistance movement inside the U.S. Military against Trump. If you think about it, they brought this up in the video, but if you think about it, you had people in the military that was happy that Charlie Kirk died. They celebrated Charlie Kirk died. Those people there are the people you need to worry about doing something that would not be in uh, the interest of the U.S. people.
In other words, they would follow illegal stuff. Like those kind of people would be glad to do something harmful to American citizens that they just didn't agree with politically.
Well, I don't know about that. I think they'll be willing to actually not follow orders that's legal.
Well, it depends on what orders they are. Like if the orders are to quarantine the American people, pull all their weapons, and then put them in a cage, they would do that. If the orders were
See,
to
I don't think I'm that worried about anything like that because you would need more than I think the population of people that would do that in the military is very, very low. They even mentioned that in the video. But the thing is, the more you foment that kind of stuff, the more you radicalize people to go that direction. That's what they're talking about. Not only that,
oh yeah,
if people know there's a resistance movement inside the military, more people join the military to join that movement.
well, that's also on the heels of people like Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer.
Absolutely. Sorry.
Yeah.
Is there a psychological warfare going on? Absolutely. Yes.
Hey, let me share this to right quick, Matt. And maybe it's only a minute. Let me see here. Is that you got that there? Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me play this. So I'm gonna tee this up. And there's a military base in North Carolina. It's called Fort Bragg, and it's been around for a long time. Of course, that's the one that they changed the name to Fort Liberty. Now it's back to Fort Bragg. And it's this, by the way, a lot of psychological. It's well known for psychological operations. Is what this is well known for. They train, they emphasize, they activate. This is what they do. And if you'll look back on a lot of the military officers that have done some kind of weird stuff, they usually have ties to Fort Bragg. Now it could be, just that they've, their PTSD or whatever, but they usually have like this, this officer and has ties to Fort Bragg, Camp Lejeune, these little areas right here. Well, recently these team that worked for Fort in this area, they're in a platoon or whatever you call it that deals with psychological warfare. And they put this out on social media. It's kind of weird, kind of strange. Check this out. Here we go.
My grandfather was an 82nd Airborne.
Well, let me get the sound here. We are everywhere. Oh, okay. That one image of that tank being assembled was back whenever there was a war that was being fought, and that they were our side was losing, and we didn't have any weaponry hardly left, and so this general ordered for a whole bunch of inflatable tanks to be assembled overnight. And when the enemy woke up the next day and seen all this like thought weapons had pulled, they threw the towel in. Just a little, like, didn't have weaponry, didn't have it, but used psychological warfare. Here we go.
There's another force applied in combat that we generally don't think of as a weapon of war. That weapon is words. Words are weapons.
Imagine this. A filtered
Stupid
water dispenser
advertisement.
you can install.
That's what it had to throw a commercial in there. But this, by the way, was on the News and Observer mainstream. They put this out. I'll just let that play out.
My grandfather was in World War II in 82nd Airborne.
Yeah.
This is psychological warfare.
Lieutenant Freedom.
Join the SIOP. This came from Fort Bragg. Go Army.
Airborne. Dude,
Yep.
that's an airborne video.
Well, this was let me read you the article here. It says here, Fort Bragg's warfare group posts chilling video, "We are everywhere."
Okay.
And a secretive Fort Bragg operation that specializes in influence people's thoughts. This is what Fort Bragg is known for. All these psychological operations being played out. That's what they do. Using the power of the mind to persuade opinion and discourse. You've heard in that advertisement how we use words, we use this, this is what we do. This was posted on social media November 19th, just a few days ago, including old cartoons. Old cartoons had a lot of hidden messaging behind them. We know this by, growing up and looking back on some of the Disney stuff. But the reason why I'm even bringing this up is because, yes, it's good to have teams like that. They're showing off their drone capabilities, because, that is a thing. But a lot of these wars, by the way, are started by crooked politicians and policy leaders who have done something crazy and pissed off another side.
Well, Lieutenant Freedom says, yes, I'm concerned that America First is a part of this. I think that's a part. I don't know.
Yeah, right. Well, the thing is, you very well could be. You can take that down if you want to. But you could very well 100% be right, Lieutenant. A lot of the times we get involved in this. Even politicians do. People, I'll give you an instance. If you work at a big factory, there are experiments done on the people that work there to see what they can do to increase productivity. And you'll be part of this study and won't even know it because you're just doing what you think is right. And at this end, we think that we're doing something right by getting involved and trying to be America first. And how to combat this is to constantly think critically, to always, analyze the situation and never accept one side for who they are. And so you may hear us speak out not favorable about Donald Trump, because if we were to just blindly follow this person, that could put us in a very precarious position. I mean, I'm not saying he's not doing great work, but there are things that Matt and I both are concerned about, and we don't want to get sucked into a dragnet of idiocracy.
Yeah, well, here's a perfect example of, I think, something me and you're concerned of. What's going on in Venezuela? Now, I tend to don't think drugs are coming from there. I think most of that stuff's coming from Mexico, Colombia, places like that.
It is.
And when I think of Venezuela, first thing I think of is dirt weed when it comes to drugs. But the other thing I think of is oil.
What's the third? Can we say it?
Third? Oh, stolen elections. Yeah.
Because, it's been talked about through a lot of really intricate studies by great people who've done wonderful work, that Venezuela's been working on this stuff for 20 plus years, which we know because a lot of the machines that we use nowadays originated from that area. that's how Venezuela came to be through Hugo Chavez and things like that. And then on top of that, once these got these things hammered out, then they started running these operations in up to 72 countries for a global alliance out of this, because it's awful strange that you can get all these countries all across the globe to kind of like fall in line. It doesn't, that just,
Well, they all the countries he did it in seemed to go really left when they
yeah, well,
none of
but
them went
they
right.
all, and well, that or some they all kind of lined up and started running together and started, and so that, it's very
The perfect
unlikely that
example is Brazil.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, communism, exactly, memory media. That in itself is the most responsible, the responsible for the most unalivings is communism. You can wrap that up. That the dude with the funny looking mustache has nothing on communism.
Are you talking about Stalin?
That guy too. Yeah, yeah.
He's
Stalin.
communist. He's communist.
Yes, Stalin, Blitler.
You could say it wouldn't kill me.
Huh,
But
okay.
I think when it comes to how to combat this, like William's saying, we need just use your discernment. What
Yeah.
makes sense? What doesn't make sense? Does it make sense that the U.S. has so much military hardware in the in Puerto Rico that it doesn't really make sense? You're just going after Venezuela, in my opinion. He shut down air traffic control. None of that makes sense. And going after drug cartels, that don't make sense either, because they're not selling drugs out of Venezuela mostly. I think it's mostly like when it comes for Trump, it's personal, because the evidence the evidence is showing that they might have been involved in the election in 2020. And and I think they also want to put in a government that's more friendly to the United States so they can get cheaper oil from there.
Yeah.
That's my thought.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no to that too.
Yes.
And
absolutely.
You know about
yeah, but Donnie, yeah, I know. I saw that video, dude. I lost my shit. I was like, really?
Yeah. So there's a certain country that exists in this world, and they play a large role in our political agenda. They donate to a large group of politicians, mostly Republican. I won't name the country, but we are pledged to give them, was it $40 billion over the course of how many years, Matt? You know what I'm talking about?
Just say the country. I don't know what I'm like this. If you're talking about Israel, yeah, okay.
Do you know how they do that? So they borrow money from us under a loan, because a grant would have to be.
Are you talking about Israel? Or are you talking about?
Yeah.
Are you talking about Argentina?
No, Israel.
Because let me get into the Argentina thing. A lot of people believe we gave them a bailout. Actually, no. What we did was give them a credit line of $20 billion, and they haven't taken any money out so far. But as soon as they do, it'd be like a bank giving you a credit line. That means it works just like a credit card. If whatever they take out, they got to pay interest. So the American people will actually make money off that in the long run if it works out.
Well, first of all, what's happening in Israel is we give them this money. I think it's $4 billion a year, or so it's a large sum of money. We loan this to them, and then at the end of the year, we forgive that loan. That's true. We know this, and so the money never gets paid back. They buy into our debt, though.
Well, the thing is, let me explain to you in this one. When it comes to Ukraine, we forgave all their debt before the war even started.
Yeah,
there.
Yeah, Biden did that. Yeah,
Biden did that. Yeah, so
and so
it's not just Israel do that with. We do that with other countries as well.
But what I'm getting
just to be fair about it.
Would it be fair? Fine. But Ukraine doesn't play a big role in our political agendas like another country does as much. But they kind of do now. They didn't before. They do now.
Yeah.
So
anyway, here's a question for you. Do you believe in God?
Of course, yes, I do. Yes, I do. We are a Christian family. Yes. So, but the what's alarming is like, instead, we could give both countries, Ukraine or Israel, money through grants, but grants usually have a lot of oversight. And that's kind of not good when you want to do things with money that isn't exactly up and up. Because you recall back when we were giving all this money to Ukraine, I think it was Rand Paul who was like, hey, I would be glad to sign this money over to help Ukraine, but we would love to be able to put an oversight committee to see where this money's going. Bada bing, bada boom, hammer it down. Money went out to Ukraine, no oversight. Same thing's happening over there in Israel, was right where all this money's going over there. We don't know what they're doing with it. And they don't have to pay it back. And I'm just letting you know that that's how that's rolling out. Now it could be normal. It could be doing nothing wrong at all. But typically, there's something weird about that.
Well, there's another thing we do as well that people don't talk about. We give them a lot of this money for their tech sector, which their tech sector, when they create something, that we get first dibs to actually get it for free. So we do get something from the money we give them when it comes to that part of it. Now,
the most
what I'm more
developed right now is the monitor, so we don't say things bad about them.
No, actually, no. They got the. I'd say they're next to the United
Weaponry.
States, and I'd say they're in the top 3 when it comes to most the biggest tech sectors in the world. They have
I
a
was
great.
I was making a funny. I was just being funny.
But the other thing also, when it comes to the money we give out, I think we need to actually treat it, not give that out anymore. That money needs to be used in the United States to help United States people. We're talking about foreign aid. I'm all for ending foreign aid. Somalia is a perfect example. They're embezzling over $1.7 billion of our money by fraud going to their country, which is more money that we actually give them in foreign aid.
But okay, right. And so
it's actually more. It's actually more money than their economy produces.
And if you go over to Somalia, it is a dookie hole.
Yeah.
What are they doing with all that money? You couldn't accidentally have something as bad as that with all that money going over there, because it's not even that big of a place. I mean, like, with all that money going over there, people should be driving around. Yeah, I'm with you. I see that comment, Lieutenant Freedom. We're with you 100%. Exactly. Dude, but like I say, all that money going to Somalia, they should be riding around on and everybody get a Bentley with all that money, because there ain't that many people over there. Considering, where is that money going? So that would be interesting to figure out. Okay, all this money gets sent to Somalia. By the way, Somalia still practices the buying and selling of the slave trade. Ellen Omar's family is tied to all that. She comes from a long line of slave trade. Her family. Her family.
Well, so did Kamala Harris.
Yes. Yes. This is what's crazy. Her dad is a nutcase. Yes.
He didn't do it. He didn't do it.
No, but her grandparents did. Yeah.
No. It wasn't her grandparents either. It was her great grandparents.
Well, but Ilhan Omar's dad is doing it right now.
Yeah.
Like they're like this the other day. They sold some slaves over there in Somalia. And this is stuff a lot of people don't know this. But what gets me is, so they're sending all this money over there, and they don't have any of it. So what are they doing with it? And I mean, unless everybody's going like this.
If you read about it, no, the government don't have it, but the terrorist organization that does.
Thank you. Yes, yes. I love it. Matt debunks me, because it's funny. I like to set Matt up so he can what she's not doing. You'll notice if you watch these streams, I know what's going on, but a lot of the times I like to kind of tee things up, because Matt comes in because he's such a smart guy, that it combines I'm not that smart. So I just kind of have to kind of tee off of him and look like I am. So, just y'all pray for me, please. But, there is some strange stuff going on, and yeah. And Kash Patel sucks.
Well, the other thing also I found interesting is I saw this article here, which made me really scratch my head real hard, because I was like, what? Why would it, and here it is. Maduro has turned Venezuela into a terrorist hub for Hezbollah, Hamas, and Iran-backed militants.
Man.
And I'm like, they know Spanish? I don't know.
Well, they probably use their phone to translate.
Yeah, probably. Maybe they got Rosetta Stone Spanish.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Matt and I are suspicious that that's just more like the weapons of mass destruction type propaganda, so that because we got the
Yeah.
problem that they ran into with the Ukraine war is back whenever Trump was running for president, we were awake and we were understanding more of corruption. Now that Trump's president, people have kind of fell in, gotten
Well,
comfortable, and
here's my theory of why they want to go into Venezuela. It don't only have to do with elections and also oil, but the military industrial complex needs a replacement war. Right now, you got what's going on in the Middle East, which is nothing really right now.
nobody likes Ukraine.
And then Ukraine is falling apart because of all the
Corruption and money laundering. They ran
all
out of
the
people.
corruptions come out. Half the governments, left town. So they've completely left. So they
I think we should have the Olympics over in Ukraine. That's where we're going to have the Olympics next.
This is my point. Before William interrupts me again, here's my point: is they need something to replace all this stuff in order to keep the military industrial complex happy and keep the military industrial complex and the deep state from shooting Trump again. They need
idle hands are the devil's playground.
Yes, they need that running, and so they're gonna go into Venezuela for that reason.
Yeah, and it's like hitting a guy with glasses though, because it's not even fair. Like it's like I was beating up on a dude in a wheelchair because it's Venezuela. It's this little tiny country with a bunch of fat women they got from militia. This isn't fair at all. Which means only one thing. I heard tell that Russia said that they would help Venezuela if the United States were to go in there. I don't know.
I heard China said the same thing. Here's my thing. People are saying we need to do this because of Monroe Doctrine and so on and so forth. If I'm going to base it off that, why we need to do something like this, where I would start off at? Getting that land back from China. That's number one that they have bought in the United States. Also, any land that any other nation's bought in the United States that's not a U.S. citizen.
Mm-hmm.
Get that land back. Compensate them.
This is how you keep the Chinese people off that land they bought. Put a bunch of trans women there. They hate those.
Anyway, my point is get them. I was like, start there. Also, I would also fix the visa programs and the also green card programs and the programs we use to bring migrants into the United States. First thing, I would probably shut them off for at least a couple of years because we need to actually get these people that are already in the United States and get them acclimated to what it's like to live in the United States, and also deport the people that don't need to be here. That's what I would do. And that's just me. And then after that, if you're worried about them being in our hemisphere, then I'd start with the governments first. Talk to them. Talk about how they can actually get off the tit of the Chinese CCP, because a lot of these people are making money that are in the government itself off of the tit of the Chinese CCP.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're actually skipping a whole bunch of steps here. Because I'm sorry, you don't need that much military hardware for one Venezuela. You just don't. And not only that, I don't know if you know this, what they've been doing in Puerto Rico. They got 3 runways already built, ready to go. Start getting planes on. They're doing all sorts of stuff. So I was like this when I see that. I'm like this. Yeah, there's some weird stuff going on here.
And it's easy to see if we can see it. The intelligence people that are dealing with all this know more than we do will ever know, which means that there'll be no surprise. It'll just be all pretty much planned in a way to do what you just said. Basically, they all know what's about to happen, and they all need this. This will all be a global unification of people going, yes, support this and support that. And what I don't think Trump realizes is, which actually I think, unfortunately, we are at this point. We didn't support Ukraine war because nobody liked Biden. He sucked. We all knew that he was put in there through a manipulated election. So it was really hard for them to get Ukraine up and running as far as something that we could all support. I mean, as people did, you had your stupid Ukraine flags, your dummies with nose pierced in the middle. But I think with Trump getting involved in this, there's a lot of the establishment Republicans who used to be MAGA or thought they were MAGA, but didn't realize they were just establishment that thought it was cool to be MAGA. I don't know what happened there, but they will actually get behind this and say, well, this is something that Trump wants to do. We like Trump. Trump wants to do this. We're going to do this. Well, but they don't realize it's just another farce to create all this stuff that's basically what they've been doing for years and years and years, but just with a different wrap, like bow, with a different bow. I'm going to use that guy from YouTube with wrap it up with a different bow. Whoever that guy was, the black guy with glasses. He had hair. Remember that guy? Wore a hat. Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Well, all right. We'll go ahead and go to this video I have here about another Afghani national being arrested after posting on TikTok a video indicating that he was making a bomb to target Texas, Fort Worth, be exact. Let's go ahead and
I'm reading
check
Lieutenant's comments and all that. I'm reading all the comments, by the way, and great comments. Thank you, guys. Yeah, you too, Lieutenant. I'm reading them all, man. I'm with you. We're on the same page here.
Well, this just in, we have a Fox News alert from Brooke Taylor. You won't believe this. DHS is confirming that an Afghan national was arrested Tuesday after posting a video of himself on TikTok indicating he was building a bomb with an intended target of the Fort Worth area. Mohammed Dawood Al-Okazai is charged at the state level with making a terroristic threat. According to DHS, listen to this. He came to the United States as part of Operation Allies Welcome. So here you have it. This happened Tuesday. Texas Department of Public Safety. This is a second Afghan national, second one this week. Operation Allies Welcome. He had a terror plot. We know it comes the same week that deranged individual, that alleged assassin, took out two of our heroic National Guard, came here on the same program, Operation Allies Welcome, a program that we were assured time and time again by Mayorkas, by Jen Psaki, by Joe Biden himself was safe and secure. But here we have a second data point in 1 week that it was not safe. It was not secure. And we've got to look very hard at this program as President Trump is vowing to make change.
I got questions. Why would this man do this on TikTok? No one can well would see it.
That's why he did it. That's why he did it. Here's my. I got a theory on this. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm just saying. I'm just asking questions. I mean, you think I want to hear your theory. Go ahead. Yeah.
I think we're going to go into Afghanistan again. Trump is interested in Bagram Air Force Base that's there. He wants it back. And it would not shock me if he's going to use these Afghanis. Right now, first thing I got a question about this one that did this. Does he have any connections with the CIA as well? That's my first question. And I'd like to find that out if they have that information. Number two, I think they're going to try to somehow they're going to directly connect them to people in Afghanistan, guaranteed. And then they have a predication to go into Afghanistan at that point.
Do you know who was quoted as saying that the best way to get support back for Israel would be to have some Afghanistan crap go on like this? Who said that? Netanyahu did say that.
Did he?
Yeah. I have to dig up the video, but he was on one of those like things where he was standing up there talking with that thing, and he was like, in a way to.
I know. Hey, Lieutenant, I am not disagreeing with you. We can't.
Yeah, we don't want this to happen. I don't want this to happen.
I just think there's something going on here with this Afghani insurgents that's happening in the United States all of a sudden, which I think that's the best way for me to put it, even though I think there's a little bit more to it than that. And you have two of these guys. Well, okay, the guy, the shooter in DC, and his brother work for the CIA. You have this guy here that has a bomb plot in Texas, gets arrested. He decides to go on TikTok, tell everybody.
Mm-hmm.
That tells me he wasn't serious, or if he was serious, it was just something to scare the hell out of people.
A distraction.
It's a distraction. It could be whatever. Who all knows? This could be a distraction, distract us on this. while they do whatever they're doing in Venezuela. I don't know. But either way, we don't really have the money for either one of them. You know?
No. The dude at the Federal Reserve asked if he could borrow $20 from me the other day, and I was like, dude, you didn't pay me back from the last 20 you borrowed. He's like, but man, I'll give you 60 at the end of the month. I'm like, man,
America first.
bad.
Tucker. Absolutely.
Yeah, I like Tucker, and I want to wave my hand at Michelle. Thank you for waving. Hello from Denver.
Hello,
Yeah.
Denver. Thank you.
Denver. Give Denver a round of applause here. Here, let me make sure I get this right. Is that it? Did I do it right? Yeah, I think I did.
Thank y'all for being here.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's my thought. What was your thought on the whole thing on that whole thing?
Well, it's just definitely going to cut back on people concerned about what Israel's doing, and Israel benefits from that, from the whole thing. I mean, whether it was intentional or not, that's good and all. I have nothing wrong with the Jewish people. I have no. Just to clarify, I should have said that a little bit ago. My heart goes out to the Jewish people caught up in the middle of the corrupt government that's running their name into the ground. Unfortunately, they get caught up in this mosh pit of terrible, corrupt government, which we have as well. Our corrupt government and the Israel country's corrupt government are like, they're like 69 in each other. It's really strange, and that's causing a lot of friction. Because in the midst of all that, we're not sure if it's Netanyahu who's the bad guy, or if it's that Mephistu guy, or whatever that guy's name is, or if it's both running together. But we do know that they really love the smell of each other. So far as our government, and their government, they all be hanging out at the backseat of an old Buick, and it's really strange, and it's causing a lot of issues. And people are picking up on that, and they're losing their moral support through the public because it's not easy to give up money when nobody likes you. And so, this is perfect for them. So they benefit from this. Then next thing you know, you've got all this stuff going on, which then facilitates that. This is probably the way for Trump to turn the economy around too, through the military industrial. All that's going to be money coming in. There'll be deals made under the table. I don't know. I don't like it. I want America first. I want 2016 Trump back. That's what I want.
Yeah, I like 2016 Trump back too. I liked the thing is, I think Trump needs to focus on stuff at home when it comes to the economy. If he wants to win the midterms, you got to first thing he needs to ramp up the deportations. He needs I'll go with economy first, work on that, ramp up deportations, and then work on arresting people that committed crimes during the Biden administration, before the Biden administration in 2016 till now. I would even, anyone that, you can go after that committed a crime, then the statute of limitations is not up, which a lot of people, that's the case, unfortunately. But, you could also do what the Democrats do and just change the law where you could actually go after them again.
Just for the year.
Just for the year in the area. Yeah.
Lieutenant Freedom says America First is satanic. And I want the America First that we were talking about back in 2020, not what's going on now.
Well, no. See, okay. Right now, the movement's separating. I think this is what he's talking about. You have conservatives, or the conservative movement, which are neocons at this point, full of them. And then you have the MAGA movement, which is Trump and Trump-like people. Go look at Hodge twins. And then you have America First, which a lot of people like Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, they put those people in America First, right? And Hodge twins, people like that.
I like those guys.
I like those guys too. They don't bother me.
Yeah.
I don't let people's ideas bug me.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the times, a melting pot of ideas. Like, see, if you get to know us, I'm a little bit out there, and Matt, he kind of reels me back in it. So that makes for a lot of fun streaming, because I kind of go out on a limb a lot, and I'll do that on purpose. Sometimes I'll go a little further than what I should, and I know what I'm doing, but it's fun to kind of toss ideas around and then come back to reality and then find that middle point where you actually will start to see the truth there. And that's kind of, something I do. And that's, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sleeping Lantern. Yeah.
Yeah. I can
said,
agree with that.
when he said that, he kind of screwed the pooch. I think the other thing he said that really screwed the pooch is when he said, I'm MAGA. I know what MAGA is, and I'm MAGA.
Yeah, and then he also said that if you still worried about that Epstein thing and you're a supporter of me, then don't support me. I'm like,
yeah, or it's a hoax.
Then you get Cash Patel to be like, I can't do my eyes as big as him, but he's like, him and Bongino, nothing to see here, nothing at all. I'm like, they've like there's got to be like people behind them with like 9mm at their back going, say it.
Yes,
say it.
Meatball. Yes, we need Sidney Powell and Linwood. Absolutely.
Linwood is sure. I guess he could be our out there guy, and then Sidney Powell could be our reality check.
Well, Sidney Powell, I'd put in the AG's office, and
You put Linwood in foreign policy.
Nope, FBI.
Oh yeah, yes, yes, FBI, yeah.
Oh, look at that. Lieutenant thinks that's funny.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I don't see nothing wrong. I mean, what could go wrong? I mean, we got Cash Patel in there, and his girlfriend is suing a podcaster for sharing a tweet, and they're using the arm of the FBI to do this. So yeah, what harm could Linwood do?
Yeah, I mean,
dude. Yeah,
good luck getting that confirmed in that Senate.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
You think Matt Gaetz had a hard time?
Lieutenant Freedom said that's dumb. Nah, it was just fun. It'd be fun. We can't, like I say, that if nothing else, if America failed, at least everybody would be laughing the whole time.
That's dumb. Was Matt Gaetz dumb? As a nominee?
No, you're talking about. I guess maybe.
No, I'm just asking him what he thinks. Was Matt
Gaetz
dumb as a nominee?
I think, yeah. Matt Gaetz has got a funny looking face, but he's a good dude. I like him.
Well, here's my biggest problem with Patel. Since you're asking, since you're telling me so far, Patel's okay. I think the biggest problem I see with Patel is he really screwed the pooch on the whole Charlie Kirk investigation.
Mm-hmm.
He came out too early saying we found him when they hadn't found him. He was talking about the guy that I killed him, and it wasn't him. I think he was too emotionally involved in it. And when you're that emotionally involved in doing an investigation like that, you need to step aside and allow other people to investigate it. Same with Dan Bongino, same with him as well. But go ahead.
But dude, so whenever the two guardsmen were shot, and they had already subdued and apprehended the person who did it, Cash Patel gives a public address saying that we will expend all paraphrasing that we will leave no stone unturned. We will find this person. And the whole time the police chief was like, we've got him. So in other words, Cash had no idea what he was talking about whenever he got in front of the camera, not even knowing that the guy was already apprehended. And the way that Cash Patel looks around with this glazed look of stupidity in his face, something's wrong with that guy. I don't know what it is, but there's something seriously wrong with Cash Patel.
Well, here's my issue that I have towards people with Cash Patel, and also with the reason they don't like Cash Patel, and also the reason they don't like Tulsi Gabbard is because of the religion, which they're Hindus, and I'm like this. I have no problem with Hindus.
I don't even. It's not even focus on that.
I'm talking about other people I've talked to.
Okay.
Like, for example, is Doug TenNapel. His biggest problem with Vivek Ramaswamy was because he's Hindi, and I'm like this. And I was like this. Really. I was like, you're in love with Pam Bondi, and she's a fucking Scientologist, dude.
Yeah.
Get your head out of your ass.
Oh, you're gonna tune in Tuesday stream if we're gonna have some fun.
Oh yeah. Turn in Tuesday. Yeah.
It's gonna be pretty good. It's gonna be salty. We're gonna be Tabasco sauce all over this stream.
I'm beginning to like you a lot, Sleeping Lantern.
Yeah, they're all compromised. They're just appeasing the oh yeah, and they're billionaire buddies. That's all it is. Epstein is supposed to drain the swamp, but now he's in. Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Is it really a swamp or is it a sewer?
I thank you very much for the Tim Burchett quote. I believe it was Tim Burchett that said no, because a swamp is a beautiful thing that breeds life, and because without a swamp, you wouldn't have a lot of the actual activity and
Yes.
freshwater marine life and all that. So a swamp is unfortunately got a bad rap. It's the sewer, because that's where all the dookie goes. The Shiite.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. I was yeah. That's what we're going to do single-handedly, you and I, Matt, with our little stream. We're going to change the terminology to drain the sewer.
All right, Lieutenant Freedom. Christians can be corrupt.
Yeah, well, I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah, that says it in the Bible. We know this. This is why it says specifically, don't follow a false prophet. Mega churches and all these people and these even little teeny weeny churches, these preachers can get in there and just be doing some crazy. Yes, we know all about that.
Well, why does Trump have a dog while all the other presidents, I guess, did? What do you think? Why do you think?
Well, I mean, like, probably doesn't really care much for animals. He's probably just likes to just be doing stuff.
He's from New York, and he's probably never really had animals when he was a kid. I think his mother is actually. Well, she passed away, but I think she was allergic to cats or something. And when you're in apartment life, which I guess they had a condo, which is the same damn thing to me.
It's just a really nice apartment.
It's just a really nice apartment you could buy. But a lot of those places you can't have pets, especially in New York City. So I tend to think that's probably why he never really got into dogs. I know his son, both of his sons have dogs, So I don't know. I think it's just the way he's always lived. He's never been into dogs all that much. Not only that, the last guy that had a dog in the White House, it didn't work out very well for the Secret Service.
No, it didn't. Did you see that thing where Biden was going around in Nantucket telling people he was running some kind of like secret foreign policy for Ukraine or something? You see that?
Yeah. Trying to undermine the chain of command ought to be prohibited. Absolutely, completely agree. That's the reason. That's the reason Kelly's getting investigated by the Pentagon.
Yeah. Yep. That is a weird dude. His eyes are too close together. When your eyes are that close together, typically you're a serial killer.
Well, when I look at him, my first reaction is it's like Dobby from Harry Potter. And Gollum from Lord of the Rings had a baby. That's what it looked like.
Yeah. I can go with that.
Just saying. That's not a very attractive man at all. It's like I look at him and I'm like, wow.
Yes, my dad was
Those guys should be 109 and held accountable. Yeah.
What can you help me out? What's 109? What is that? What is that?
I'll tell you when
I got you. Yeah. I learn stuff every day. I'm still learning. Got a lot to learn in life.
They put us all in a bad spot. Yeah, 100%.
Well, the sad truth about and nothing against you guys in the military. Thank you for your service. Your heart's in the right place, but most of the time the conflicts that you're getting involved in is just to appease these oligarchs. You're these wars that are started typically aren't grassroots. One country just doesn't look across the ocean with a pair of binoculars like, oh, screw that place. No, there's usually somebody that went over there and pissed that dude off and did some crazy stuff, some backroom deals that went wrong. And next thing you know, now we got to go over there and do some stuff. And then they send the military in to do the bidding of the stuff that they started. And 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 when I say America first, my meaning behind that is to like pretend like there's no other countries around us, focus on us and us only, stay out of everybody's crap. It's the same difference as if you're getting involved in a domestic violence case. Like, say, for instance, you see two people beating each other up, and you try to break this fight up, and next thing you know, you're getting beat on because you got in the middle of some crazy stuff. You should have just let it. You should have said, "I'm out of this," and maybe help one time, but after that, let it go. But just basically, once you get involved, you never get out involved, and then you get barrel. So, we just need to focus on us. We need to focus on this country. We need to focus on its direction. We need to teach people what's sustainable. We need to teach people what's right and what's wrong, and legitimately what's right, not some equitable right and equitable wrong, because this crazy leftist ideology, their wrong is only the eye of the beholder. That's all some crazy stuff that just ruins society. Real values. And basically the way to do that, in my opinion, is to get back to being a Christian nation. When you leave that ideology and try to live outside of a Christian, I'm not saying force religion down somebody's throat, but just Christian values. The 10 Commandments could go a long way in society if you just practice those. We would see a vast improvement within a matter of months. Matt, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I think when it comes to the Department of Education, what's left of it, they're talking about actually pushing more religious-based education into the education system. I think that would be a good thing overall.
Yes.
Now, I don't think we should push people to actually convert into Christianity or anything if they're not Christian. But the point of actually doing that is it's the morality of it. The morals that come from the Bible that's important.
Even atheists agree with Christianity. They don't believe in God or this, that, and the other, but they think that a Christian mindset is sustainable. They don't want it to go away. They don't,
it's because the Bible preaches, what's the main principle of the Bible?
Sustainability.
No, choice.
Well, that
you have
too.
a choice. You have choice to believe what you want to believe in the Bible. Some people would disagree with that, but the thing is,
outcome of your choice.
For example of what I'm talking about here is if you look at the part where the earth stands is put on its pillars and stays where it is. Back in the day, that was interpreted that the earth doesn't move, but we know the earth does move. So,
and it's not flat.
The interpretation of the Bible is determined by the person who's reading it. Is pretty much what they're saying. I think it's a little bit more. I think there's a little bit more to that than just that. But I think when it comes to certain interpretations, I think you need to take some seriously and take some with a grain of salt, and also use discernment. What makes sense of how it works and how it doesn't. Not only that, Jesus showed us how to live our life in betterment for the world.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to force a religion or Christianity on somebody's throat, but you could just kind of like have some value, some morality, and out of that, sustainability builds, and quality builds out of that too.
Well, I got one more video I want to show. It's a funny video, and it's about the healthcare system in the United States. I know some of y'all might not be that funny. It's not all that funny. Healthcare system's not all that funny to me either because of how much it's costing to actually get it. But this is funny because his reaction to it, what's happened to it, he just goes crazy. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. As if any of you guys got a problem with cussing, well, here you go.
we haven't beeped any of this out, so. There it is. Yes.
What are you pissed
I'm Matt
about?
Same thing 2 years in a row. I got a raise. It was awesome. And Blue Cross Blue Shield got word that I got a raise and said, oh, fuck that. I want all the raise plus $217 a month. Insurance premiums are up 91%. So you get a raise, which is good, and then the insurance is like, fuck you. It's like a cake with nuts in it. It's like free pop, and you get up there, and it's fucking Pepsi. I've already talked about that. It's syrupy, and it tastes like shit. It's like you get out of the shower, and you're squeaky clean, and then you're like, oh, I got a shit, mate. And you got fucking diarrhea. You get out of the shower, and you're clean, which is good, and then you get diarrhea, which is bad. And I hope every fucking person at Blue Cross Blue Shield gets diarrhea. Can I hope that? Can I say that? I'm not wishing violence. I don't hope them ill. I just hope they get the shits. And it's so bad they have to go to the ER, which is a $250 copay. And while they're standing there in soggy shoes, it looks like the fucking Denny Moore factory had an accident. Like Louis Armstrong meets Montezuma's Revenge, and it turns into a soft serve machine. Fuck those guys. And I hope whatever medicine fixes it isn't covered. I had surgery last year, and I was in such bad pain, the doctor called in a pain suppository. You heard that right, suppository. And it wasn't covered. If you hurt so bad you're willing to stuff the medicine in your asshole, it should be free. So, yeah, I'm in a bad mood. Fuck you, Blue Cross Blue Shield. It should be Brown Cross, Brown Shield. Hope they all get the shits.
Have you done your insurance this year? Because I did mine. I felt the same way. I was like, motherfucker. Jesus.
To be honest with you, my wife kind of handles that.
Okay. I handle it. And I was like, this, what? The fuck? Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, Jesus. I thought they were supposed to fix this shit.
Yeah, maybe we just do away with insurance. We don't need it. I'll never go to the doctor.
The fact is, if you go to get a procedure done, right? This woman made a video talking about it, and she's like this. I called it. I got a procedure set up for my daughter to get, I believe, tubes put in. By what she said in the video, to get in tubules, right? Well, it was $13.97. They had to meet deductible. She had to pay the whole thing, $13.97. Well, she called again to get that confirmed because she's like, that's high. That don't even make sense. And she's like this, well, if we're going to do it, if the insurance can't cover it, why don't we just take the insurance out of it and I just pay all cash? And they're like, no, you have to go through the insurance company. And she's like this, what? I don't want to go through the insurance company. I just want, no, can't do that. We already know you have insurance, so we got to go through the insurance company. If she wouldn't have told them that she had insurance, she made the appointment without the insurance company going through there. You know how much the actual procedure would have been at that point? $601. So what's going on is insurance companies are being if you are paying insurance, right? You are subsidizing people that don't have insurance and illegals to go to medical facilities to get surgeries and so on and so forth done at a low price like that, or maybe not even pay at all. And then you're paying the difference with the insurance company. So whenever you get your bill from the insurance company, sometimes they'll pay 70, 80%, whatever it might be, depending on what your deductible is and whether or not you met your deductible. Okay. So there's a chance if it's a $1,300 and you met your deductible, that means you might be paying just a copay, which is $20. It's worth doing. But if you don't meet deductible, you're paying almost the whole damn thing. And then at that point, you're paying.
They're doubling it up.
Yeah, they're doubling up to offset the money they're losing off of people that don't have insurance and also the people that aren't paying at all. It's bullshit. Instead of actually incentivizing people to get insurance, they're incentivizing people not to have insurance. That's really what that is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, that's off topic. But I thought it was important to bring it up because I lost my mind over it. I'm like, really? So
we are a nation. We are a nation in decline.
So you're penalizing me for doing the right thing, doing the thing you told me to do, and getting health insurance. Like,
we are a nation in decline.
Yes. All right, guys. We really appreciate it, guys. Come and check us out. Please hit that like button, comment, and share this out to everybody. And check out William. What's the name of your channel? And tell everybody.
Ratchet Production Studio on YouTube. Check me out. I'll be doing some work over there. You might like what we do.
Yep. We'll be live over there on Thursday. So go check it out.
I think we're going to be doing 7 BMs. It's a whole lot easier to get things going at
7 p.m. Okay. And of course, we do 8 o'clock here, and we're going to do probably around 7 o'clock on Tuesday on this channel as well. Giving you all some
saucy.
And we're going to do some saucy videos about other stuff. It's going to be great.
Stuff. Yes, it's a surprise.
Yeah, it's a surprise. Of course, I mentioned his name. One of the people we're going to be doing. But hey, we really appreciate guys. And also, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. That really helps us out.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Peace.
Peace out.